Welcome to episode 23 of Run the Length. Before we get into the episode, go check out my Patreon, where you can get access to early and exclusive content, as well as the custom status effects tokens I use in this video. My opponent this week is former Guild Ball god Alex Bots. Alex is the two-time national championship and 2017 world champion of Guild Ball. He also hosts the podcast Strictly the Worst Guild Ball Podcast. I will be playing my Alchemists into Alex's Farmers for this Season 4 game. We select game plans. My plans are Lone Striker, Seize the Initiative, Go for the Knees, Dig Deep, and Keep Your Chin Up. Alex's plans are Kick 'em when they're down, Back in the Game, Midfield General, Fullback, and Grudge Match. Alex wins the roll and chooses to receive. We blind reveal captains. I am playing Smoke and Flask, while Alex is playing Thresher and Peck. We move on to the draft. Alex drafts Plowman. I draft Compound. Alex drafts Harrow. I draft Calculus. Alex drafts Jackstraw. I draft Mercury. Alex drafts Windle. I draft Avarice and Greed. Alex's team is exactly what I expect farmers to play into Smoke. It plays Thresher, the captain that is strong, Peck, the mascot that hoses conditions, Harrow, whose aura mitigates the damage of my conditions, and the two best planters and the best reaper. My team probably seems a little strange. I have been doing some science and have added Avarice and Greed to my roster. The idea here is that they help deal with the high hit point models, and Singled Out will allow Mercury to start rapping for multiple fireballs from a single attack. It is worth stating that I think this is far and away the worst matchup for Alchemists, with Smoke only having a 33% win rate into Thresher, according to Longshanks. The terrain on this board was generated using the Longshanks terrain generator. At the top we have a forest, then moving down we have an obstruction, another obstruction, and at the bottom we have yet another obstruction. I deploy. From top to bottom we have Smoke, Flask, Compound, Calculus who's kicking, Mercury, and then behind my lines I have Avarice and Greed. Alex deploys. From top to bottom we have Jackstraw, Peck, Windle, Thresher, Plowman, and Harrow. I kick out the ball just over the line, and it scatters just over the line. Alex allocates. He places 5 on Thresher, 2 on Plowman, 1 on Jackstraw, 2 on Harrow, and 1 on Peck. I allocate, placing 6 on Smoke, 3 on Calculus, 1 on Greed, and 3 on Mercury. Alex activates Plowman and sprints to the ball. He places 2 harvest markers and kicks the ball to Peck. I activate Compound and I jog up to protect Calculus. Alex activates Peck and jogs behind Windle and drops the ball. He places Cocksure on Thresher. I activate Flask and he uses Beaker Keeper on himself, then drops a smoke cloud by Compound. Alex activates Windle. He picks up a harvest marker using Big Breakfast, then sprints to cover. I activate Avarice and Greed. Avarice picks up Greed and moves up a bit. Alex activates Harrow and picks up the ball. He jogs and throws Mark Target at Calculus. He hits it. He kicks the ball to Thresher, and Thresher dodges up, careful to stay just outside of 6 inches of Calculus. I activate Calculus and throw a Noxious Blast at Thresher and Plowman. I hit Plowman and miss Thresher. Calculus sprints away. Alex activates Jackstraw and uses his free teleport to jump to the harvest marker. He then jogs forward and throws a Crop Dusting, placing 2 harvest markers. He then takes his end of activation teleport to jump to engage Compound. This is a very crucial moment in the turn. Jackstraw engaging Compound is turning off his countercharge, and that countercharge is the only thing keeping my team safe. I activate Smoke, jump to Flask's Smoke Cloud, and attack Jackstraw. She does 1 damage. She attacks it again and does a momentous push, pushing Jackstraw out of engaging Compound. Smoke pulses Poison and throws an Infuse at Jackstraw, which misses. She pulses Fire, then takes a Parting Blow from Jackstraw. Jack misses his Parting Blow. Jack is the thing that makes this matchup so hard. None of my models deal with him particularly well, and he has enormous mobility that he uses to turn off countercharge. Alex activates Thresher and attempts to pass the ball to Plowman, but misses, and it scatters just in front of Windle. Plowman intercepts the ball. Thresher jogs to cover. This is one of those plays that really highlights the differences between mid-level players and very high-level players. Alex knows he is extremely favored in the matchup, and has the tools to get a good engage on my team. His ball-based plan fails, and instead of overcommitting Thresher into compound, he chooses to wait until next turn. I activate Mercury and sprint to Jackstraw, killing a harvest marker. He attacks Jack and misses. He attacks him again and misses again. This ends the turn. Alchemists are leading the momentum race 2-1. We play our game plans. I play Keep Your Chin Up. Alex plays Midfield General. I win the initiative and choose to go first. I allocate, placing 3 on Avarice, 1 on Greed, 1 on Calculus, 4 on Smoke, and 3 on Mercury. Alex allocates, placing 5 on Thresher, 2 on Windle, 2 on Jack, 1 on Harrow, and 2 on Peck. I activate Mercury and attack Jack. I miss. I attack him again and do 1 damage. My final attack misses. I back up Mercury so that Windle has to sprint to get to him. This is a pretty suspect play here. What I probably have to do is go kill Jack with Avarice and Greed. But if I do that, I lose a ton of my threat, and Windle and Thresher are free to do whatever they want for the rest of the turn. Alex activates Jack and attacks Mercury but misses. He uses Crop Dusting and places 2 harvests. He clears conditions and jogs towards compound, turning countercharge off again. I activate Avarice and Greed and jog to Jack and drop Greed. I attack Jack with Avarice, dealing 2 damage and a knockdown. I attack again, dealing 3 damage and triggering Reanimate. I bonus time Avarice's final attack and kill Jack. Score is now 2-0. I pick up Greed. This should have been my first activation, so I could have Mercury to protect countercharge. Alex activates Thresher and uses his legendary. He uses his free character play for 3-inch melee. He attacks Calculus, doing 2 damage, they ain't tough. His second attack does 3 damage. His third attack does 2 damage and a they ain't tough on compound. This pops Resilience. His fourth attack does 2 damage. His final attack does 2 damage. He uses the Harvest Marker to do 3 damage to Calculus and compound. This kills Calculus. Score is now 2-2. I activate Compound and take a Parting Blow from Thresher. He wraps, doing a knockdown and 2 damage. I stand Compound with momentum. Alex activates Peck and places Cocksure on Windle. He heroics to remove Plowman's condition. I activate Flask. He uses Beaker Keeper on himself and places a Smoke Cloud. Alex activates Harrow, who jogs up and places a Harvest Marker. He uses Mark Target on Compound and hits it. I activate Smoke. I use my free Come On Mate from my game plan card to heal Compound. She sprints towards Windle and pulses Poison on him to remove Cocksure. She does it again. She infuses Windle, dealing 3 damage. She Cloud Jumpers away. Alex activates Plowman and bonus times a kick to Harrow. He places 2 Harvest Markers. Plowman then sprints to engage Avarice and Compound. He attacks Compound. I counterattack. Plowman knocks Compound down. Alex activates Windle. He jogs to melee with Mercury and gets set on fire by Mercury's aura. He attacks Mercury, dealing 3 damage and triggering Berserk. He attacks again, dealing 3 damage. Windle buys his second attack and does 4 damage and triggers Berserk. The Berserk attack does 2 damage, leaving Mercury on 2. He clears conditions. This ends the turn. And with that, the wheels are well and truly off of this game. I spent a lot of influence this turn trying to keep Windle out of the fight, and failing means that this game will run away from me very quickly. The momentum race is Farmer's favored, 5-1. We play our game plans. I play Dig Deep. Alex plays Kick 'em when they're down. Alex wins the initiative and chooses to go first. Alex allocates, placing 5 on Thresher, 2 on Windle, 3 on Plowman, 2 on Harrow, and 1 on Jackstraw. I jog Calculus back on and allocate 6 to Smoke, 3 to Avarice, 3 to Calculus, and 2 to Greed. Alex activates Thresher and jogs, taking fire from Mercury's aura. He uses Don't Fear to deal 3 damage to Compound, Mercury, Avarice, and Plowman. Mercury dies. Score is now 2-4. He attacks Avarice, dealing a knockdown dodge. His second attack wraps, dealing 4 damage through Tough Hide. His third attack wraps, dealing another 4. He heals Plowman. His fourth attack does 4 damage. His final attack does 4 damage, leaving Avarice on 1 health. I activate Avarice and clear conditions. Avarice jogs to melee range of Thresher and drops Greed. I attack Greed and Alex counterattacks. I realize that I have made a huge mistake, since if he dodges away here, I don't get to hit Thresher with Avarice. Greed singles out Thresher. Alex bonus times his counterattack and dodges out of my melee. Avarice attacks Plowman, dealing 2 damage and a knockdown. I use Come On Mate to stand up Compound. Avarice attacks Plowman again, dealing 2 damage. I remember that Greed can jog, and I jog to engage Plowman. Avarice's final attack does 4 damage. I pick up Greed. Alex activates Plowman. Plowman forfeits movement and attacks Avarice, killing him. Score is now 2-8. Plowman attacks Compound, and I counterattack. Plowman removes Resilience, and Compound pushes him out of melee. Plowman drops 2 Harvest Markers, puts up Broken Earth, and heals himself. I activate Calculus and sprint to a spot that will force Windle to sprint to Compound in order to engage Compound. I throw a poison AoE on Windle, dealing 2 damage. I pick up the poison for a free character play and use it to blind Windle. Calculus heals herself. Alex activates Harrow, drops his Harvest Marker, and sprints to engage Compound. He takes poison on the way. He kicks a goal with bonus time and hits it. Score is now 2-10. I kick the ball out and it scatters just behind Smoke. Activate Smoke and jog to pick up the ball and put up a smoke cloud. I jump into the cloud and attack Harrow, doing a momentous push. I attack him again and Alex counterattacks. I hit the double push to push him out of engaging Compound. Alex counterattack misses Smoke. Smoke pulses poison and fire on herself. She throws an infuse at Plowman and hits it. She collects 3 off of her aura. Alex activates Windle, eats a Harvest Marker for +2/+2 move, charges Calculus, and I defensive stance. Windle takes poison on the charge, and he misses his charge attack. I spend some time here trying to figure out a way back into the game. I finish it by activating Flask and jogging him toward the top of the pitch. Alex activates Jackstraw and jogs towards the fight, then uses Crop Dusting and jumps him a few times. I activate Compound and do nothing with him. Alex jogs Peck up. This ends the turn. The momentum raises 4-3, favoring the Alchemists. We play our game plans. I play Go for the Knees. Alex plays Back in the Game. I win the initiative and choose to go first. I place Go for the Knees on Compound. I allocate. I place 6 on Smoke, 1 on Compound, 2 on Avarice, and 4 on Mercury. Alex allocates placing 5 on Thresher, 2 on Windle, 3 on Plowman, and 2 on Harrow. I activate Mercury and charge Windle. Alex counterattacks. Mercury wraps, putting out a fire AoE on Windle, Plowman, and Thresher, and a fireball on Plowman. Windle's counterattack misses. I attack Windle again with bonus time and don't wrap, so I only throw 1 fireball at Plowman. Mercury attacks again, wrapping, dealing 1 to Windle and 2 to Plowman. Alex activates Thresher and jogs to engage Mercury and Calculus. He uses Don't Fear to deal 3 damage to Windle, Calculus, and Mercury. He attacks Mercury, dealing 2 damage. They ain't tough. His second attack does 3 damage. His final attack kills Mercury. Final score, 2-12. This post-game analysis is made possible by the Patreon support of viewers like you. This was a very rough game for me. The matchup is very difficult, but has a few shining rays of hope. In order to counter all of my condition damage, he has to spend a lot of his player slots on support models, which means his only other damage piece is Windle. And Compound can't really control Thresher at all, but he really only has to keep Windle off my team, since that is half of his output. The downside is that it's pretty tough to do once Thresher kills one of my models before it activates, which he is very likely to do if he has just a Harvest Marker. I thought a lot about the matchup and have started playing Vetcat into it. Vetcat can't really be attacked by Windle without Windle giving up major output. And Vetcat is 67% to hit the ground pound if he is crowded out by Thresher. If he gets to do that, he can kill Windle over the turn line and collects a lot of momentum if he gets there. The other option is to abandon the turtle plan and play Smoke as an all-out scoring list with Vitriol and Crucible. I still need to give that a try. But with that, I would like to pass the question on to you. What were our mistakes this game? Would you have made different decisions during the game? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button, it helps other Guild Ball players find this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and hit the bell to know the moment I upload a new video. I'm Vincent Curkov, and this has been Run the Length.